Dota2 first. Me and Dakota
Adroit?
cast it. Adroit, that's what it was. And GeekFam ended up winning? No, I thought they lost.
Yeah, GeekFam lost.
Yeah, GeekFam lost. They lost 2-1, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It was 2-1. I know they got meepoed, and then the Lone Druid Alk game happened.
Yes.
That's what it was.
They misclicked Lone Druid, apparently.
Yeah. And Adroit did?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they still won.
They did not mean to.
It was a really terrible Lone Druid game. But I did see good things from GeekFam. I just feel like the one thing is their coordination was terrible at Game 3. They had this Naga Disruptor combo, which, guys, if you go check out the VOD for, which you absolutely should, they missed the Sleep Disruptor ulti combo like 4 times, which is an unreasonable amount of times to miss it. Like, at a professional level, I say you can miss like 2, but they doubled that. And that really made life really super hard for them. And on the other side of things, I saw Boom play yesterday, and I was so impressed with Mikoto. I thought he did a lot of good things. He reminded me, and this is the highest compliment I could pay any player, of Thompson, in that he just went around and did stuff. He would die, but he did stuff at all times. He was always pushing the game forward into a way where his team was in a winning position, which I thought was really, really good. The only thing is, I felt like, if anything, Dream did not utilize that space as well as I would have liked.
Yeah.
He was 0-4-0 in a game where his teammate had absolutely crushed mid in an unwinnable matchup. And I feel like he did not properly utilize that space enough. And whether or not he was just having an off day, he needs to get his act together if they're going to do really well in this thing.
Yeah, especially in this game, right? Because he is playing a Phantom Lancer that has been countered. You've got Gyrocopter and Leshrac cores that you're going to be matched up against. So the first 25 minutes of your game are going to be really hard.
There is upside, though. I think that late game, they don't touch him.
Yes.
When this PL gets hard, the game is over. There's very little to, I want to say absolutely nothing they can do. And I like speaking in hyperbole because Kyle won't be casting for a bit, so I have to take up that mantle of wild statements.
True.
So
can you give me so Heart 100% they've won.
100%
guaranteed.
won. It's over. Kyle will shave his head if I'm wrong. So that is one thing, but I do think their early game aggression on the side of GeekFam is very good. Like, they can run at them nonstop, and they should, because a lot of Boom's lineup is based on, like, they have difficult to pull off team fight. Like, things have to go pretty well for them.
Yeah.
They don't have easy ways of initiating, I should say.
They don't have the easiest way to protect the egg on the side of Boom.
Their way of protecting the egg is just to fight, I think. And Hyde picks up the first blood on Zephyr. I will say, by the way, Hyde, if Mikoto was like the superstar, if he was the MJ yesterday, then Hyde was like the Pippin.
Okay.
Like, he made a lot of plays on his Phoenix.
Look to see him continue to do that here in this bottom lane. They've been going back and forth here with this dual lane, now turned tri-lane as he shows up. He was helping FBZ before in a matchup that is not very fun, Pango versus Batrider, so he's just trying to give him a little bit of security for the first level or so.
I would imagine the Pango just pulls waves.
Yeah.
Is the best thing for him. Yes, you do have an escape mechanism, but the escape mechanism doesn't push you far enough.
Yes.
And Batrider, the thing about Batrider is, like, in 1v1 pure lanes, there's very few heroes that beat him, because even the heroes that have, like, an escape mechanism, for example, I was watching Koikva once play Batrider versus Slark against, like, some 8K player, and he crushed him. And I was like, how'd you do that? And he's like, because you still have to fight sometimes when you've got sticky stacks. And every single time you have more than, like, 2, you have to run away.
Yeah.
Or you have to use your defensive ability. Not dying is not the same as winning the lane.
Even the heroes that have low cooldown abilities, let's take Weaver, for example. You, let's say it's a hard matchup. For whatever reason, maybe Batrider gets sat on. Well, when the 1v1 starts occurring, you can always just pull into neutrals and get the extra CS. That is an advantage that pretty much no offlaners can really replicate to the same degree that Batrider can. Yeah, Darkseer. That's pretty much
really good. I was thinking of that. I think Darkseer should be good in this meta, considering what heroes I think are good. Where everyone's just trying to trade farm and, like, Darkseer's going to get free farm. I feel like he should be pretty good as an offlaner. Maybe I'm wrong here.
Do you feel like there's a bit of a lag in that just because? Oh, still managed to pick up that regen rune. And Zephyr may have actually died for that. In fact, he does.
Zephyr.
He braved the Remnant to try and take the regen away from Makoto. A valiant effort, but one that was ultimately more costly than he imagined.
He's gonna die.
And now Makoto is going to get level 6 before Carl, which is really important because that's when you get really good kill potential. Nice block there from Carl. Tanks the Remnant so he can get the deny on the range creep.
Yes, sir. I'm looking up Zephyr's career. He's actually had a pretty decent-ish run. He used to play on Tigers, which was the team with, at one point had Dendy in it.
Led by 1437.
Yeah, they actually won Dream League Season 10, which is the minor, of course, where they went to the KL Major after that. That was with Moon Meander, 1437, that squad.
Kezcute takes a little bit of damage. Raven not going to push his luck too much. Is he happy with the way this lane's going? Yeah, he's got to be. He's 29-7, second in the CS board.
Yeah, this is one of those rare games. Hold that thought as.
Yeah, he's not only high in CS, but now he's going to be gifted a kill here, Raven.
How'd you know he's going to get the last hit?
I just, you just feel it sometimes.
Oh, wow.
When you played enough Dota, you can just read this.
I can't do that.
I just assume with Rocket Barrage, And if he didn't, then you know what I would have said, Blitz? What? And I would have said that that kill was stolen away by his support.
I see.
Because,
Rocket Barrage go brrr.
You can't just do that as a carry. You need to run around hitting creeps sometimes.
Rocket Barrage go
Rocket Barrage go brrr. That is the best new meme that has come out in the last like year.
There's like some really crap ones, but that one and the heroes as beans, I always puts a smile on my face. Have you seen those?
It's a cutesy one, yeah.
Yeah, like I don't mind that. It's inoffensive. It doesn't like hurt my day at all. I enjoy it.
It takes a little bit of creativity.
Yeah. I was gonna make one for Storm, and then I realized I have no artistic bone in my body.
You would have had to put Storm Spirit in the title because nobody would have been able to figure it out.
This is Storm. It's like, oh, cute. Like your 4-year-old drew this? Oh, yes. All right, Hyde is looking around for some wards, and honestly, I'm not sure what he's doing here. I think it is very optimistic for them to hope that they're gonna win this.
You talked about having a successful run in Zephyr. Somebody else who, maybe not the most successful run, but a long run, is DreamOcell. He used to go by the name Fervian. You would recognize that. I would, initially I was like, DreamOcell, who is this guy? And then I saw Fervian, I was like, oh, yes. I recognize that name from grinding casting C at Join Dota.
He has a pretty good career. So far, he's earned 43,000 in prize earnings individually, which is very good, which I think is like pretty decent. At the tender age of 22. If I had that money at 22, I'd be pretty happy.
Yeah, he started playing real young then.
Yeah, his his best result was they played at the minor and they got 4th, losing 2-0 to Alliance, in fact.
That is very respectable. I mean, they really shot up at that major, or excuse me, at that minor. Their groups being able to beat Furzy and Business Associates, that was what a hell of a surprise, because I think a lot of people would have rated them for last place.
Oh, they're going to probably...
Good chain stun. Makoto is going to be able to jump away, and FBC is going to try and get the chain stun onto Zephyr to turn that gank around and claim a kill. He will manage to pick up that bounty. 3-1 now to the favor of Boom.
That Pango death zone. I hate it.
Yeah.
In that mid lane where you're just like, you're just done, son. There's just way too many areas. There's like bounce, 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 bounce.
It is a really solid Pango game.
Yeah. And odds-wise, if you saw in the beginning of the game, it was like, did we shot those out?
We're gonna see the odds pop up.
It was like 1.8 to like 1.9.
Very
and actually, I think GeekFam was favored, which I think was a little bit surprising because based on their relative performances, I probably would have rated Boom a little bit higher.
Yes, based off of name and such, you probably would go with GeekFam, but the performance here at this tournament so far, boom, Esports has certainly come to play as Makoto has come up to the top lane to get the kill onto the Batrider, who's been free farming this entire time. An important gank.
Dota is the most "what have you done for me lately" game of all time. That's why I feel like, you know, sometimes I'll watch like No Tail stream and I'll see people talk shit to him or tell him he's wrong, and I'm like, bro, you could win 14 TIs, and there's always somebody that thinks they know better than you.
Yeah.
Which means that you know, like every TI winner, as soon as they like go soft even for a second, they're done, son.
You know, I've heard that talked about in some of the older players who are still trying to play.
Yeah.
And in a way, it's like their long history goes against them now at this point. Because maybe they're
Everyone
not
thinks
the
you're washed.
highest MMR. Exactly.
Yeah.
You're washed up.
You're
what about
Seb.
those hot new kids? That 17-year-old who's 9K. He's got a promising future. He hasn't been tested yet.
Yeah, it's the Seb conundrum where obviously Seb still had it. No shit, he had it like in spades, and he's now considered like maybe top 3 offlaner all time.
Yeah. I remember being on the analysis desk and being like, yeah, he's got high MMR, but like, does he still have it when it comes to playing professionally?
Yeah.
Because he did not back when he was originally
He's one of those
playing.
like exceptions though, where his history did work against him, but he just made it work anyways.
Yeah.
So yeah. But Boom, I mean, I like them, up and coming squad. I feel like this is going to be the random team that I support, just because I watched like one of their games. I'm like, I like the way they play. I think they play like cool Dota. But I do think like there's just something missing from them being like really, really good. But hopefully in this league, maybe they can like figure it out.
Is it? Can I be as bold to say they need another superstar core?
No, I think that Dreamocell is a good player. I just think that he, right now, maybe I'm judging too harsh based on yesterday, but he just needs to figure out his place in the team a little bit better.
Okay.
But I think he's very talented. Like, no, there's no way I think they should kick him or anything like that. It's just awkward when you have like one player that you consider like a superstar.
Makoto.
I think
He
Cuckoo
does
might kill
not
him.
have to simulate, so he should be dying here. 15 seconds until his next charge. Cuckoo. Well, should be able to chase him down with sticky napalm and such. It actually might be a little bit close with this TP. The takeout damage isn't going to be enough. Makoto does actually survive.
Thought he was 100% dead.
Yeah, I thought he had too many stacks. He was going to take too much damage, but
No, just barely gets out of there. He has been picked up on, though, when it comes to farm. #1 in the game, Gyrocopter. Right after that,
yep.
well, for like a quarter of a second was Leshrac. But this Gyro's had a very good game. Nowadays, I will say, I think PL is really hard to play against. I've been running into him a lot in my pubs, and it feels like there's too many situations where it's just a free PL game. He's good against a lot of the cores that other people like to play against, like especially Wraith King, you know?
His laning is not bad.
No, not at all.
He can punish certain offlaners really hard with Phantom Rush. If he doesn't do that, he jungles very efficiently once he gets level 6.
Yes.
And he's one of the hardest carries in the game, so...
You never feel bad about having a hero that can go Manta, Diffusal, Abyssal. Those are all very useful, annoying items, as they're going to pick up a kill onto Carl.
Yeah, really big pickup there. Oh, FBZ actually switched up his build. Originally, he was going to go the Treads build that a lot of people have been going. Instead, he went back into the teamfight build of guarding Greaves for the boys.
I think he needed to. I personally think you don't need 3 DPSers on one team. Like, they have enough damage. What they really need is they need a frontliner, because if you, for example, guys, if you lack an initiator, a tank will do in a pinch. Somebody that can just like run in for you.
Yeah.
And survives for like an abnormally large amount of time. That can be your initiator. Some guy gets gone on, he lives for a long enough period. And I really like this move by Kezq. I'm 90% sure he knew this was coming based on how he was patrolling. And this is one of those like protective deaths where you're simply just trying to die. And he also knows that the ward is placed there too. So as long as nobody else dies here, this was an excellent death. And hold that thought as more people are going to die here.
Yeah, Hydel's are going to be caught, but no cores are going to be caught in the action. But the down part is with both supports gone and GeekFam reaching a point where their lineup is going to be very strong They are just going to be able to mow down this Tier 1 tower. BSJ did say GeekFam needed like a 5K gold lead by 20 minutes. I think that was the timer he gave, something like that.
It's arbitrary, but I like it by Brian.
Yeah, in fact, I'm going to double down on that. He said 100%. If GeekFam has 5K gold lead by 20 minutes, they cannot lose.
Okay, I like it. Brian's not here to defend himself, so.
Yeah. Mikoto, for a second when I saw the broadsword, I was like, oh, hey, he's going that blade mail build you were telling me about for intelligence cores. But no, he went for the Crystallis.
A lot of people do that, though.
Yep.
Oh, they're going to go on a Cuckoo. They are...
Okay.
This is a whiff and a half if I've seen one.
Yeah.
Oh, are they even going to... They hit him
bumps
once
him once, and the Aether Remnant is there to follow up that stun. So
that is a shame that he had to die for that.
In the end, you got the kill. And that's what's important.
They're going to lose 4 bounties.
What's really important, though, sometimes is bounty runes, and only one of those is going to be played by Boom.
They might not actually have gained any gold because of that.
Yeah.
That's awkward. Oh, I actually thought they knew that ward was there, though, on the side of Boom.
Yeah.
I think it's actually likely that they just haven't played in that area yet, and that's why the wards haven't been dewarded.
Yeah,
because obviously they smoked upwards. And Kez cute. So one thing is, if you're playing support, it's really awkward because if you don't have vision there, but you know there's vision there, I think a lot of supports, lower level supports especially that I see in pubs, will just like blindly walk in and go. But you don't want to do that because you're essentially just feeding yourself away. They have vision, you don't, so you have no idea what you're walking into. And the mid game, I would say, has been sped up quite a bit because of the changes. So what used to be like, you know, the 20-minute mark is really when you enter the mid game, where people start to 5-man, is now. So what you should do instead is do this. You smoke into your jungle, your teammate meets you, and then he gets to safely de-ward, and the enemy team will think like, oh, he's just de-warding by himself.
Protect our vision,
Exactly.
Go kill that guy. All of a sudden, it's a team fight.
Yeah.
And that might just happen here as they're going to run into the gyrocopter. Where's the stuns? They do have it. Whitemon is going to be able to get his ultimate off, though, on Raven, probably saving his life. They did blow the egg for that, and Carl is going to TP in. He's going to turn this fight around. He's going to go for this kill, trying to run down Kezcute first. Dreamacell has to play away from this last strike here, a little bit too damaged, but Mikoto can try and challenge Carl if he wants. FBC tries to join him, but Carl's a little bit too fast for that. He backs up to the back line. They do lose their Tiny as GeekFam try and take that team fight. Doesn't prove to be successful.
Carl messed up there, I think.
Yeah.
He got himself in a really weird position, and if you have to defensive Yules there and run, their team just got split. But Egg was wasted, Pangle Roll was wasted. That's a really good fight for them at that point. But you saw what I'm really glad that they did it, like right as I said it, because that shows like they know what they're doing. They're making like good strategic maneuvers.
Yeah.
And it was like a great example, right? It's you smoke to the vision there. Don't ever go there alone. Please supports. 99% of the time, you're just going to die. But what you can do is you can bait off of that, or you can make plays off of that, which is exactly what they did. And GeekFam then, the counterplay is you don't immediately go on that guy. As soon as you see him, what you can do is you wrap around, because you'll then run into a situation where hopefully you're meeting his team before he can get there. And you can set up for the fight better than they can. Also, you want to be closer to your wards so you can protect them. So you want somebody deeper in that jungle area. I would say that person would probably be like Oracle, or not Oracle, but like Batrider. Because Batrider is really tanky, and also he's just like has a natural escape mechanism in Firefly, right?
Yeah.
So if they blow a ton on, like remember top when they tried going on that?
They're going to smoke, run into Kezcute. They're like, damn it all. This 5 keeps on getting the way of all of our smoke ganks. We're trying to get a core kill. We're trying to find something important to pick off and then turn into an objective somewhere. But
so now when it comes to warding, for all you 5s out there, hopefully you have one defensive jungle ward placed here, and hopefully you have one aggressive jungle ward placed here. And if you haven't taken the mid tower, then ideally you have a mid tower placed there too. And what GeekFam should do this time is, I think anyways, they should defend their vision as much as they can. Like, you place a ward, you de-ward it, you now know you have an area down here to play around that area. So that means now we're going to see like a parallel. Boom ID is going to now play in this top lane because that's where they feel comfortable, and that's where they're going to now establish some vision, and they've got like control of the area.
Looks to me like GeekFam might try and defend. As hard as this might end up being here, they may be able to burst down FBZ. They do. Zephyr gets a combination onto him, leads into Kuko, getting the lasso. A great defense there from GeekFam.
That's very good.
That one pickoff means that they get the tier 2 and don't give up their own.
Oh, I like that.
No trade-off. That leads now to a 4K net worth lead as we approach the 20-minute mark.
And GeekFam take that play because they know they have the numbers advantage. A lot of Dota coming down to whether or not you have the numbers advantage. If it's 4-on-5, no matter what position you are in the game, for the like 99% of the time you want to take a fight, because so much of the net worth is just not there, right?
Especially when you can set up that fight picking off a core, right? You get a 5 position, maybe it's not as clear cut.
Did neither of the cores have Calling Blade on them? Can you click the Pango in the void? Okay. So I think what you want to do is cut the trees above the tier 2. So, and I think they got a lot of them, but they just must have snuck in, GeekFam.
Yeah.
Like ideally you cut all those trees and then you see the TP coming. But Kuku had a really good spot like to come in from.
Zephyr also did a good job TPing to the tier 3 and getting set up in the first place.
That
Same
was just
goes
really
with
well done.
Oracle.
I didn't think it was going to be possible for them to defend that tower.
Yeah. But he found the opening. He killed FBZ. Managed to burst him down. FBZ is... he should have... Well, he can pick up Greaves right now, but it looks like he may want a Blink Dagger instead of the Greaves.
Why do you think he's going Blink instead of Greaves?
Well, I always like playing Pango against Oracle because you're one of the best heroes to get to the back line and assassinate that hero.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have the damage for it.
So you don't love his build?
I don't love his build. If he's gonna if you're gonna go this build, like why wouldn't you just complete the Greaves?
I see.
Flat out. Chain stun. Kez, he's gonna be fine. Zephyr just kind of poking at him, realizing this is not a fight they can take anymore. There's a lot of Boom members here, but Makoto does manage to find a huge follow-up. He's going to be able to get on top of Kuku. The follow-up there from FBZ keeps him chain stunned. He rolls right into the Oracle, keeping him stunned. Really nicely done. Blinks back into him one more time. That's 3 stuns onto Whitemon. Still managed to get off his ultimate. There's the Supernova onto the side. Kuku's going to buy back and TP onto the shrine here. Makoto does manage to get up in the high ground. Kuku, as he TPs in, is caught by the Aether Remnant, followed up by the Supernova stun. So he doesn't immediately get to catch anybody like he was hoping. He had lasso up. He was ready to go, but the stuns was too much for him. So they're only going to find maybe Dreamacell here. He was actually trying to go for the kill on his Zephyr. Makoto, Yule Scepter up. Kuku tanks the Aether Remnant for Carl. Carl chases back some of those heroes to make sure that the rest of his team can focus on killing Dreamacell with no interference from the Radiant.
That's what I meant by Dreamacell. Sometimes just like gets a little bit out of position. He's getting he's just trying to get a little bit too antsy. Like I want to make this more worth it than it has to be.
Yeah, why is he attacking the Tiny there and not just running away?
Yeah, like his team is, I feel you play based off cooldowns at this point, right? You've demonstrated your cooldowns are your threat. You've demonstrated like I have nothing left in the chamber. Like we use the Phoenix egg, but you forced the buyback on the Phoenix and you lost like what? I think they lost one hero there, right? They killed Bat. They lost somebody. I can't remember.
I believe they only lost Dreamacell.
Oh, okay. So it was one for...
But it was a buyback for Kuku, so we're going to see that fight again just to make sure.
So if Kuku buys back and that's the end of it, great. You traded off favorably.
Yeah.
You see right there is he tries to get on top of the Oracle.
FBZ doing a really good job with that Blink Dagger, though.
Oh, that was sick blink.
That was a really sick blink. Bumping into the Oracle
they
for
lost
a
Pango.
third stun.
That's what it was. They lost their Pango.
Oh, yeah.
So, but you trade offlaners, but one buys back.
Yeah.
It's fine. And I think Dreamacell at that point was like, we can keep fighting. We're under our tier 2, but towers aren't really towers at that point.
Especially when Boom is getting close to certain peaks. You've got now the level 2 Supernova plus Aghanim Scepter coming in for Hyde.
Yeah.
So that is a really big upgrade. You're still working towards that heart timing that you were talking about, the guaranteed win condition for Boom. Makoto's still a ways away from Aghanim Scepter. It'll be another like 5 minutes or so before he has that.
They're getting out efficiencyed kind of hard right now.
Yeah.
On the side of Boom. I feel like they're lineup is awkward in that regard, where they have to keep waiting for this PL to be active on the map. But PL doesn't feel comfortable fighting right now because the Gyro and the Lesh are so farmed that at the present, without a heart, they are very good direct counters to him.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I think GeekFam should also continue to play aggressively and not stop.
Kodo setting up a stun onto Zephyr here. Hyde follows it up by diving in. Sunray, that should burn down the Tiny pretty easily. Now he's going to pop that Phoenix Sun, try and help Makoto get out of here. It's going to be at the cost of his own life. At the same time, Kezku actually did get kept by the Last Strike. Is now zooming in on the side. Makoto does have to dissimulate. He's got 2 more seconds till another jump away. He's going to be hit by the missile, but fortunately there's that Pango causing so much chaos. Dreamcell, they found the real one. They got the last one. Beautiful read by Cuckoo, and that is disastrous for Boom. Losing their carry once again with Kezku buying back, now dying back is going to be run down by Cuckoo and Carl. The K's show up to the fight 25 minutes in. Now they're just going to run over the tier 2 in a massive engagement.
That is rough. Just way too difficult of a fight. I think fighting in that mid area is just awkward.
Yeah.
It's just so awkward, especially when you jump in, you don't really kill the Tiny very easily. Like, they've got damage issues right now on the side of Boom ID. Real damage issues.
It feels like Boom just keeps on, like, they get into a situation, okay, this is a trade-off and it's kind of fine.
Yeah.
But they have a little bit of a save-a-friend syndrome. Dreamercell's not being, like, selfish enough in some ways.
Yeah.
I want him to be off on a side lane farming while Makoto's making that play, you know?
Then you're cool with it. At the end of the day, you're thinking to yourself, well, we trade 1 for 1, but like our PL's getting really huge. Yeah. So who cares?
And that's the way this lineup is built, right? You've got 2 elusive flash farming cores in Pango and Void Spirit. They can play the dangerous lanes for you, draw attention. Maybe sometimes they get caught and die, but it's all to create space for this Phantom Lancer.
Yeah. Because if you are the reason why your team wins or loses, like you're that hero, you're that PL, you're that anti-mage, it's really on you to...
Oh, they baited Carl. Zephyr's going to show up, managed to get the avalanche stun onto Makoto, actually hits him with the ensnare from the net. The neutral item helps to try and get the kill on Makoto, and look at that, Cuckoo just reads him like a book, knew exactly where he was going. That was a very well set up gank by GeekFam.
I really, really like these traps that GeekFam are setting up. And I think they're really good traps because I don't necessarily disagree with a lot of the plays that Boom are making. Like, I like that they're still trying to play opposite of their PL and get control again in their own jungle and force like the engagement away from their own jungle. It's just Geek are being very good. They're being very patient. When you see 4 heroes at top waiting to bait 1 hero, that's when you know a team is like gelling.
Yeah.
They're doing like smart things. They're working together. It's well done.
The engagement in mid got a mid tier 2. Now that engagement at top finds the Roshan kill and Aegis for Raven. Yeah. As he still has the remnants of a double damage rune. They're going to try and rush towards Boom, see if they can catch anybody.
What's Lesh have? Lesh must be really farmed too, right?
Yeah, he's very tanky. He's got Bloodstone, BKB, Yules, and Boots of Travel.
I think if you want to go for high ground situations now, take all the tier 2 towers, go for a high ground. I'm okay with that. We talked about how they have damage issues because a lot of their damage is like magic because they don't really have the PL participating yet. And they have one of the best heroes in the game at mitigating magic damage. If not the best, right? They've got Oracle.
Yeah.
On top of that, there's a pipe on Batrider. So you have a lot of this damage that Boom puts out is just kind of negated off the bat. So it really means that this PL, it's even more important that he has a very good game because he's almost all of their physical damage, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Like, you could make the argument that this, like, Crystallis Void Spirit is dealing a bit of it, but not really.
Yeah. I think that's always been a problem with Void Spirit is that he does run out of damage.
Yeah, and your hope is that you're far ahead.
Yeah.
And then you can just jump the back line better than almost any other hero, like right now.
He's going to try and jump in, push back GeekFam. They are just going to run away now that they see the Sapphire ultimate. They can say, okay, if Mortimer Kisses is being used, we can
just go back
up.
in.
But we don't have to run away completely. We just reset for a moment, wait for the next creep wave, and then go again. This time around, they won't have a very important cooldown. Range rack's already gone. Melee soon to fall. Looks like really Boom may not fully commit to this fight. They're going to roll around a little bit with this Rolling
Nice
Thunder.
tossback.
FBZ is not going to be able to get the chain stone onto Leshrac. That is going to be, oh no, Hyde got caught before he could get off his Supernova. Now this is turning into a disastrous engagement where Carl feels like he can just run forward with impunity thanks to that BKB. They take the melee barracks and back up now.
Very, very well done by GeekFam. Really liking how they're playing so far. This mid-late game has been all of them so far. Just good moves overall. I like the way the only thing that I really have a criticism for them in this game was that I didn't feel like they protected that bottom ward hard enough, which put them into kind of a weird situation. But the way that they defend their towers, the aggressive maneuvers that they make, they're very good at playing the hit and run game. Solid, solid, solid. All good things so far that I've seen.
And now it's Boom who look like they're the ones making the mistakes. And it's more that those mistakes are being forced out of them, right?
Yeah.
They have to make certain maneuvers, and they're just falling into the traps of GeekFam time and time again.
Yeah, I think they realized early on that they have damage issues, and so they're trying to force things. I will say, it feels like this team relies a lot on Makoto having like net worth leads and just snowballing games. And he's not able to do that in this game.
He is definitely trying to force kills that are much harder to get than the last series that we saw.
I think his issue is, his primary issue is that there's no easy hero for Void Spirit to one-shot in this game. Like, when Void Spirit feels really good, it's because there's a core on the enemy team that you can just straight up run into and they're dead. Like, you just 100 to 0 them, run in, pop your combo, you know, bang. But GeekFam have not allowed them any sort of opportunities like that. They're dangling heroes in front like bait, and then they're just kind of like pulling back. They have 4 heroes, and now Makoto's like doubting, you know, he's like, are people actually there?
Well, that's it. GeekFam, they tried really hard, 31 minutes in, but they've lost. The Phantom Lancer has his heart.
That's a heart.
And Makoto has his Aghanim Scepter. We'll see if that actually changes the fight as Blitz predicted so boldly. Not
All right,
30 minutes
that.
ago.
Now he needs like a basher.
Oh, now we're adding addendums, huh?
He needs a little bit more damage.
Okay, okay. No, it is true that this heart, with the combined power of Leshrac and Gyrocopter both being this far ahead, that heart will not be enough for Phantom Lancer to single-handedly carry these fights. It's going to be very tough.
You can't give up 2 sets
for
here.
Boom.
It's way too much map control at this point in the game.
At the same time, it looks like they just don't really want to fight into this Aegis from Raven. But Raven's going to continue to force it. Ether Remnant pulls him back. They're going to start leading out with a Sunray. Look at FBZ bouncing into the back line. He's trying to find that Oracle, and he does manage to find him while Raven's dropping low. FBZ is making sure that White Wand will not be able to get off that false promise so easily. Now he's going to be focused as Makoto catches him with the Ether Remnant, and he's gone. That 5 position is out. Now there's no more saving Krasis, and Boom can just collect whatever kills they can find. Makoto's going to be able to get the Eul Scepter onto Zephyr. FBZ looks for one more, but it's just going to be the 2 supports that end up falling. At the end of the day, though, that was another Tier 3 and another range barracks that falls for just 2 supports.
And Boom does not lose, or GeekFam don't really lose core heroes.
Yeah.
In engagements. I'm noticing that as like a theme. They're not losing their Lesh or their Gyro ever in bad spots.
Meanwhile, exact opposite for Boom, right?
Yeah. Cuckoo had that dieback once, but other than that, they're not really getting into these like bad positions. They're willing to ditch their supports.
Yeah.
Which is what we, you know, kind of criticized Boom for not doing enough. Where it feels like they're trying to save everybody.
Man, it was crazy. They are going to be found here as BKB activated by Carl. Dreamacell is just trying to put some physical damage on him to help his Phoenix out because he doesn't have to die just yet. It was coming up in 1 second time. But he doesn't manage to get it, and now Makoto, he's going to pay the price for not using that second charge of Astral Step. He gets lassoed, does not have a buyback, and GeekFam, there is no Tier 2 to save Boom ID here. The GeekFam can just quickly take that melee barracks in bottom and force the engagement mid. Boom will have to take this 3 versus 5.
Yeah, and this is looking like it potentially could just be game.
I think so too, unless Dreamacell and
he's
FBC...
got to put out work, but there's no Peng ulti.
Yeah, there's no Rolling Thunder. There's not even that disruptive presence to stun people up and allow Dreamacell to do damage. Yeah, look at it. They're trying to throw out the Mortimer's Kisses. They also have the Glyph that is going to stall GeekFam long enough that they now have the Phoenix. But this is going to have to be an amazing Supernova. Somebody is going to have to bait or something here. And Dreamcell, he's going to be leading in. The Supernova goes off. Raven pops BKB, trying to focus it down. Cuckoo's going to join him, blinking forward, and the egg is dead. Now Dreamcell no longer has that big AoE control unless FBZ can come through in the clutch with this Rolling Thunder. Bounces between the two of Cuckoo as well as Carl, doing a really good job chain-stunning him like this, but Dreamcell still has Raven to contend with, and that damage from the Gyrocopter is too much for him to handle. Makoto jumps out, double silence onto the Oracle, trying to burst him down as quick as possible, but he gets Yule Scepter. Now he's going to be caught by the lasso once again. He dies twice to the lasso, back to back, and that is where boom, we're gonna call it for this game one. It ends on an ultra kill for Raven.
Easy peasy. Really well done by GeekFam. Really clean performance. Felt like their teamwork was really, really solid.